Rather large, welcome back to Kossi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kossi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into Mikel Arteta's press conference. He has just confirmed that January is going to be a very, very busy month for Arsenal. We're trying to add in new reinforcements to the squad, broaden the squad, and also increase quality. He says it's a very unpredictable market. It's one where you cannot really predict what's going to happen. But if opportunities arise, if chances come for us to sign the best quality players, then we will actually do that. Make sure to just to make sure that we are still competing by the end of the season, probably win some silverware if opportunities arise as well. Mikel has also been reacting to some of the call-ups to the World Cup, including Ben White, William Saliba, Saka, Martinelli, and a few of his players. And look, I think the words that he has told them: go out there, impress, shine, and when you come back, the confidence levels should be absolutely in the roof. So we're going to be discussing much of that. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Big question: how many players should Arsenal focus on in January in terms of incomings? Too many could actually be a distraction, and also one, like we did with Dusan Vlahovic last campaign, could be a disaster. We might not get him, and then the whole window is actually dead. So how many players should we focus on that you feel this number is achievable, or probably this kind of sample space is one where we can sign 2 or 3. Now, first and foremost, Mikel was asked about Ben White and whether Ben has actually thanked him for playing him at right back, and he says no, we have discussed that every player needs some time to understand the reasons why, and I think he's really enjoying it. It brings him other opportunities, and being a versatile player is something that is rare in this world, and I think he's got the capacity to do that as well. Look, my problems with Ben White playing at right back have always been very, very clear. Mikel wants to use him as a cornerstone for possession. That much we know. Personally, I want a more explosive fullback, but I don't think this season Ben White has been that bad. I think it's been really, really good. And Gareth Southgate calling him, it was a no-brainer. Yes, he's not called the likes of Tomori, and probably there are so many questions around there. Don't call Tomori, but you call Harry Maguire. But Ben White is a no-brainer. Versatile, like Mikel says, can play for you in a back 4, in a back 3, can play for you as a right back in a back 4. You can even play him in that role where Declan Rice plays at times, in that DM role. I've not seen him play there for so many times, but probably you can, and that is the beauty around him. So Mikel says at the moment he's happy to play in that role. Mikel on the players who didn't receive call-ups. He says, I think the boys have been really, really good with each other. We know how much it meant to Gabi, to Big Gabi, to be selected and part of the national team. But unfortunately, they didn't have space this time. The good news is that that he's still very, very young. He will have opportunities, and you will have to respect those decisions and carry on with your career. Look, I think, Gabriel Magalhaes, it's a little bit unfair, unfortunate, probably that's the right word to use here, but I think there's so many opportunities for him. Look, I think Thiago is not going to be playing any other Thiago Silva is not going to be playing any other major tournaments for Brazil. So what he has to do is to establish himself as one of the best center backs in the world. Just eliminate those few mistakes in him, penalty, and I can see him as a player who can even captain this Brazilian side after the likes of Neymar, Thiago Silva have actually gone. But I think it was a little bit harsh. He was a little bit hard done by, given that he's part of this big Arsenal team and big Arsenal setup. He deserved to be in there for Brazil. Mikel on the significance of being on top of the table for Christmas. He says it would be great, but our focus is to play better every single day and try to play better tomorrow than we did against Chelsea. If we do that, our chances to win the game will increase, and that is where our focus currently is. Look, I think it's very, very important to be on top of the table during Christmas, because look, these little stereotypes that footballers and the football world has actually picked up over the years just contribute so much. For example, if Arsenal on top of the table by Christmas, that could just be some kind of demotivation to the Manchester City squad. Look, on the other side, it could be motivation, but it could also be that kind of demotivation that since they're on top of the table by Christmas, they're favorites to win it. I think, and then it also will take us into the new year as favorites to win the title, which will mean 5 months of maximum pressure, but also 5 months of us knowing what exactly we are fighting for. If we go into the World Cup and finish the World Cup on top of the table, that means Arsenal players will have it in themselves that it is now ours to lose. Yes, it was ours to lose last campaign, the top 4 spot, and we lost it. Can we do better this campaign? So Mikel says the focus right now is not on where we are by Christmas, but our focus right now is how we play in every single match. Mikel on saying that our squad is short. He said, I said that from day one after the transfer window, that obviously the demands and of the competitions we have to be involved in are very, very huge. Some of the players we have experience, others not the biggest, but we have competed in a really, really impressive way with the numbers that we have at the moment. Of course, if we can improve the team, we are always looking to do that as a club. So again, Mikel Arteta is reiterating the message and the notion the squad is short. And this is the Mikel Arteta I liked when we actually brought him in. Yeah, I didn't like him as a manager, but one of the few comments he made was the quality of this team cannot compete. The mentality of this team cannot compete. And you remember, how he has actually, evolved with this team, laying off the likes of Ozil, Aubameyang, Socrates, Mustafi, and all the rest, and until where we are now, having a clean squad that has a very, very, very positive mindset. So Mikel says currently it is not enough. He has said that since day one. It is not enough, and if we have any opportunities of making the squad better, we will actually do that. Mikel on whether he expects to be busy in January. This is what I talked about in the introduction of this video. He says, I don't know. This is so unpredictable in this window, especially with the World Cup in the middle of it. We will have a look. We will try to get the squad stronger and be active because we don't know what is going to happen in that World Cup. Touch wood, everybody will be okay. So I think what is focusing on here is a very, very important factor of injuries and burnout and tired legs. This is where Manchester City can run away with the title, because they have so many players that will be involved in World Cup action. It's a no-brainer because they are almost a world-class team. The only world-class team we have in the Premier League right now. That means they'll have more players involved in the World Cup. But then you think about the squad depth they have. You think about the quality they have in that squad depth, and that is what exactly puts them a little bit high or on top of us in terms of running for this trophy. So Mikel says in January we'll try to do that. We'll try to go in there, fight for opportunities, try to deal with the unpredictability of the window, and see if we can get some opportunities done through the window. On which team will win the World Cup? Mikel says one of my players. I hope that is a very, very good that is a very good answer. On if we have any injuries, Mikel says as well, currently we do not have any injuries to focus on if players have expressed concerns about getting injured ahead of the World Cup. Okay. Mikel says, we've discussed the topic before, and I always say to them, if you're thinking about an injury, it's probably going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen today, the next day, or the first day of your preparations for the World Cup. So get it out of your minds. You're a professional athlete, and this risk is always there for you. Do your job and commit yourself to everything that you do in every action, and the risk will be very, very minimal. So look, personally, I think the World Cup is an avenue for squads to become weaker. Yeah. And I'm not really trying to say that because I hate international football. I love Spain. I love watching Spain in a at a more competitive level, just like we did in the Euros. Thought we could have won it. Yeah, I'll keep on saying that. But a World Cup in the middle of the season, it's just not right. It's absolutely not right. A controversial World Cup at a controversial time, controversial number of games, controversial amount of game time. The players are really going to feel it. They're really going to feel it. But Mikel says, don't focus on picking up an injury. Focus on what you can give. On if we have achieved. On if we have overachieved actually in this first section of the season. Mikel says we try to achieve what we try to achieve is to play better every single day, and I think we are making some strides towards that. I think the consistency level that we've shown is much better. Whether we can sustain that level is not or that level or not is not dictated is dictated game by game. So have we overachieved? I think these are conversations we will have as Arsenal fans on this channel as we break off into the World Cup. Have we actually overachieved? My opinion, okay, to be honest, I didn't expect Arsenal to be on top of the table. There is the element of overachievement, but I also didn't expect us to be below the top four. So I think we are right there where we are supposed to be. Just we are ahead. We are ahead of the moment. And if we can keep going, yeah, probably that's a little bit better. But if we don't win the league, I don't think I'll be, Mikel Arteta's failed to win the league. Look at him as a disgrace. Unless we lose the league on deadline day. Unless we do that. But I'm still very comfortable. We've done a very good job so far as a team. And Mikel, what a manager. On if the title race is a two-horse race right now, he says, I'm not here to give opinions on that. What I want to do is finish as high as possible and play as well as possible. Honestly, is it a two-horse race? The title race? You think about Newcastle. Manager of the month, October, Newcastle. Player of the month, October, Newcastle. And that speaks volumes. They've been scoring a lot of goals in the recent games, especially in October. They've been defending well. I think they have everything it takes to give anyone a run for their money on those top four spots. Now, I'm not saying they will finish there. Probably they'll have their own, part of problems and issues. But so far, so good. So for me, it's not a two-horse race. You have clubs like Newcastle that could just surprise you, right? For me, Arsenal can easily Newcastle can easily surprise Newcastle can easily surprise Arsenal. Probably not surprise Manchester City as for now. But they can easily surprise us. They're that good, I believe. Mikel on White's and Ramsdale's price tags. It says we picked the players that we believed that they had the qualities and the personalities to be hopeful and successful at our club. Obviously, if they are valuable to the national team, and in this case England, then much better. On his favorite World Cup memory, Mikel says, when Spain won it, 100%, one of my biggest mates, Pepe Reina, was on that stage making the speech and making everyone proud and happy. On he wants to win the World Cup, he says, I don't know, let's see. I think everything is going to happen naturally, and whoever is there will be we will be with them. On the comments made by Brazilian journalist Neto on Gabriel Martinelli, it says, I'm not here to comment on others. And also on if his son enjoyed being in the away end at Stamford Bridge and knows the chants. He says he's learning too much and very fast. On what chant in particular his son liked, he said he had a really good time, and I'm glad he enjoyed it. And on if his son will be there for Wolves, Mikel says I'm really not sure. On which areas he thinks the squad is short, he says this is a comment that I made on the first day after transfer window. It doesn't mean we are not good enough. It is short, and we have used players like for example Marquinhos. We had other plans and he's been an important player, a player that is that has the capacity. It's true that we had injuries as well as Mo has been out for 3 months. Thomas has been out for a period. We had Alex out for a long period as well. So we have adapted to that. We are willing to do that, but the demands are going to be really, really big for everybody, and we've got to be ready for that as well. So I think the biggest part of his press conference has not even been about Wolverhampton Wanderers. It has actually been about the World Cup, which is really, really understandable. It is only 10 days away, less than 10 days away now. And then, the transfer window, because I think what many of these journalists are anticipating, and many fans are also anticipating, the same thing, that when you are breaking up for the World Cup, you as a club, you've said your shot, you've said your squad needs improvement. Are you going to be working on it? Remember, I've just reported that Arsenal are working to sign Mikhail Modric. More updates coming on that story as well in the next video.